In May, the government had the second highest borrowing since records began, with only peak COVID in May 2020 being higher.
Sorry, I missed the middle word there, Steve.
I'm so
sorry.
In May, your government borrowed the second highest amount since records began, £17.7 billion you borrowed just in the month of May, and only peak COVID in May 2020 was higher. Do you expect borrowing this year to be higher or in line with forecast at the budget?
Keir Starmer has just been grilled in front of a parliamentary committee over a jaw-dropping £17.7 billion borrowed in a single month. Critics are calling it a fiscal disaster, and some are even questioning if Labour's economic vision is spiralling out of control. So, is this a temporary bump, or a warning sign of financial chaos ahead that IT all exploded?
In line with forecasts, and there have been monthly fluctuations, usually for global reasons, as you'll have seen in a number of other countries. But we have also obviously got our overarching fiscal rules in place, which are ironclad, one of them relating to borrowing as a proportion of debt.
So tomorrow we will get both the June figure but also the figure for your first year in government of how much you've borrowed. You're expecting that to be in line with what was set out in the budget?
Well, I'll see what the figures are tomorrow, and there have been, I think every month this year there have been fluctuations, broadly driven, and I think generally accepted as driven by events that are happening globally, almost capable of being tracked to them day by day, but
During a high-stakes Treasury Committee debate, members demanded answers as new figures revealed that in May alone, the government borrowed a staggering £17.7 billion, the second highest monthly borrowing since records began. Only during the peak of the COVID-19 crisis in May 2020 did Britain borrow more. And this time, there's no global pandemic to blame. Prime Minister, do you seriously expect the public to believe this is sustainable? Starmer attempted to defend the borrowing, citing increased investment in infrastructure, NHS funding, and energy subsidies. But critics weren't convinced. Where did all that money go? According to Labour sources, the bulk of the £17.7 billion was used to fund a massive public sector support package, everything from NHS backlogs to emergency energy relief for struggling households. But here's the twist. Insiders say several of these programs weren't even fully costed during the spring budget. That's left economists warning that the UK could be heading toward a dangerous debt spiral if borrowing keeps accelerating at this rate, and with inflation stabilizing but growth still fragile. Even some Labour MPs are asking, was this the right call, or just reckless spending disguised as compassion? This isn't just about one bad month. Keir Starmer's entire economic credibility is now under fire. The opposition wasted no time seizing the moment that he's out of his depth. The numbers don't lie, and the British public will be paying the price. Even some within Labour's own ranks are reportedly deeply concerned about the optics of this borrowing spree. With the next general election looming, the Prime Minister's image as a steady economic hand is rapidly eroding. Analysts warn that this may just be the tip of the iceberg. If borrowing continues at this pace, the government may have no choice but to raise taxes, cut services, or both, and that's where the real political cost could come, because for a government that campaigned on economic responsibility and working for the many, this kind of borrowing binge could alienate middle-income voters fast. Is Starmer writing checks that Britain simply can't cash? The public reaction has been mixed. Some applaud the spending as necessary support during tough times. Others see it as reckless mismanagement. Pollsters are already noting a dip in economic confidence in recent surveys, and Starmer's approval ratings on financial matters are starting to wobble. And behind closed doors, Labour strategists are reportedly in overdrive, scrambling to shore up their economic message before the next fiscal forecast drops. With the next quarterly borrowing figures just around the corner, all eyes are on Starmer's next move. Will Labour double down on borrowing to fund its social programs, or pivot toward fiscal restraint to calm the markets? One thing is clear, £17.7 billion is more than just a number. It's a political powder keg that could shape the future of the UK's economy, and Keir Starmer's career. Now we want to hear from you. Was Labour right to borrow this much, or is this economic madness? Are you feeling the impact where you live? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more hard-hitting political stories and economic breakdowns. Until next time, stay sharp, stay informed, and always follow the money.
Like this video and subscribe my channel for latest political updates and bombshell news and latest updates.